So you mentioned before the degrees of separation.
Well, I suppose in group networks, there's always degrees of separation between one part of the genealogy and the other part of the genealogy. And in the past, that separation would cause some delay of communication. Of course, in the age of quantum communication, where it would be a way of an instantaneous relationship between the two, then that sense of distance, one from the other, may be resolved, and therefore the idea of the group and group networks can be completely reconceived, so that we don't need necessarily to be close to individuals who are physically close to us, or even biologically close to us, for our resources, or for our needs, or for our survival, or for any purpose. That we can really, truly, as humans, with our instruments and with our wheels, or our proverbial wheels, can go on or our proverbial ships with our sails can go on great adventures, on journeys. And the journey is also a social journey to discover a fraternity of people lending themselves to one's shared imaginations and shared targets and shared wills and visions for co-creativity. So really the horizons for the journey person are far-fetched, and can take on great forms and colours and sound like the most exotic music. So we were talking about degrees of separation. Degrees of separation, in many ways, are also the recessed realities that exist in any one thing which is present to us. In any, in this telephone, or in these glasses, or in this water, or on this table, or with this coffee, all have their own providence. They are degrees of separation that they have which brought them to degrees of separation of coordinates that brought them to this very moment. Their providence. This coffee comes from Brazil, and it was made by this and this factory. It was delivered by this and this ship, and each of the circumstances that brought it here have got recessed coordinates of knowledge and instruments and influences and attributes and the things that had brought them there. And these can probably go on infinitely, and in these are probably what the physicists say are all sorts of dimensions, curled up possibilities, which can change or can be reinterpreted by what the physicists call the wave function crash. So that recessed coordinates or degrees of separation is the sum total of the hidden influences of any of a group of people and of individuals. So how does that bring us to general group theory? It means that the possibilities within large groups is too much for any one human or small human ability. It would need too much computation. What is realistic is for us to, as humans, with our limited knowledge base and our brains, is to work on small group, intimate group surroundings, to genuinely interact with people, obviously with our instruments, and to interact with their recessed knowledges and their degrees of separation in enough diversity to provide us with great options and access to exotic skills, but not too much to cause us to be disassociated from our biology and our need for interpersonality and relationships. So that's just some ideas on group theory.